Tesla admit that they deleted too much. They said, yeah, we think we actually made a mistake. Well, we're going to change the Tesla Model 3. I don't know when this is going to happen. It could be a month away. But Tesla is responding to customers who apparently, sales are going down, of course. This is partly a response of Elon Musk to what he's doing. But also Tesla thinks, well, okay, maybe we can save our sales problem by simply adding things in that we took away, like indicator stalks. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. Great to have you with us. Riz Akhtar has reported for The Driven that when Tesla said recently, their engineer said, maybe we deleted too much, one of the things they were referring to was the indicator stalk in the Tesla Model 3. Obviously, the Tesla Model Y has the indicator stalk. So Tesla decided to keep it for the Model Y. And that appears to be in response to feedback from owners. Tesla was one of the first brands to remove many physical buttons from its cars, and they removed indicators from the Model 3. Now, to be fair, Tesla was certainly not the first company to remove indicators. Ferrari have been doing this for years. They've had indicators on the steering wheel. This has been around for, I think, more than a decade, to be honest. But most people have never owned a Ferrari before, so they weren't used to this feature. Reports from China are saying that Tesla will bring the indicator stalk back for the Model 3 sedan later this year. It could be within months, we don't know. Tesla observer Chris Zheng said the Model 3 will soon add a turn signal stalk. And he has also tweeted this: I'm very disappointed that the new Model Y added a turn signal stalk, which is a serious step backwards. I don't agree with that. I drove a new Tesla Model 3 Highland here in Australia, the performance version, and I sort of did find it my brain needed to recalibrate to think where are the indicators. And then I drove another one of these, a Model 3 in the United States. I think I did about nearly 3,000 kilometers driving that car. I have to tell you the honest truth. It didn't bother me too much, but I do think that the Model 3 would be better with the indicator stalk. And I did have to often think, where are those indicators? Oh, they're there. Oh, they're there. Oh, they're there. I did have to keep telling myself that over and over. And maybe I'm just a retard and I was tired. I don't know. But I felt like, for me, it was something that would take me a little while to get used to, put it that way. Now, Riz says this update comes just over a month after Tesla unveiled the refreshed Model Y, which did keep an indicator stalk, even though many thought that Tesla wouldn't do that. They thought that, well, the Model 3, they got rid of it, so therefore they're going to get rid of it in the Model Y. Some people panicked, so I'm never going to buy a Model Y because it won't have an indicator stalk. Then it did have an indicator stalk, so that was interesting. In an interview with Jay Leno, Tesla's Senior Vice President of Engineering, Lars Moravy, touched on why Tesla brought the stalk back. He said, we always say at Tesla, if you aren't deleting so much that you have to put something back, you haven't deleted enough. Well, maybe we deleted too much. What are your thoughts? Do you agree? Is this something, was this a mistake? Did Tesla make a mistake here? Let me know what you think in the comments. After driving a Tesla Model 3, the new Highland version, well, not the latest version. In fact, there's an even later version than what I drove because it just came out about 2.5 weeks ago in America. But after driving this car, I was seriously asking myself the question, is this the best electric car you can buy? At least in the United States. When it comes to the United States, the new Tesla Model 3, it has 363 miles of real-world range, even on the freeway driving 70 miles an hour. There's nothing else like it. There's nothing else in the United States where you can get this much range at this price. But range isn't everything. What about every other experience? What about supercharging your vehicle? What about going on long road trips? We certainly did that when we were in LA, California. We went to San Francisco. We went down towards San Diego. We drove more than 2,000 miles in about 10 days. And honestly, I cannot believe how good the Tesla Model 3 Highland actually is in the real world. Is there any problems with it though? Yeah, there's a couple. I'm going to tell you what they are. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching the Electric Viking. I've been told by some Americans I don't have a very strong Australian accent. I've been told by others that I need to speak more like an American because otherwise they can't understand me. You can't please everyone. That's one of the things I learned during my trip. I also learned that Americans are, well, pretty damn friendly. Honestly, went to a baseball game, went to a 49ers game. Great. My first experience going to baseball and NFL games, and people were, to be honest, awesome. Where are we going?
Stadium.
Where are we going, Jack?
What's American football?
Except one person actually, while I was walking with my friend Bill, who I lived with in Western Australia many, many years ago, hadn't seen him for 20 years. We were walking back from a baseball game, and a drunk Spanish person, not Spanish, I don't know, she's speaking Spanish, punched me for no reason while I was walking past, and then gave me the finger and gave me the F word. I don't know why. Anyway, apparently they can get a bit fiery sometimes, and I was told by my friend that I should just ignore it and keep walking, which is what I did. Other than that, my experience in America, especially driving the Model 3, was just mind-blowingly good. My Model 3, I did drive it for about 2,000 miles. A lot of driving. Drove to San Diego, drove back. We went on different detours here and there. Drove to San Francisco as well. Then I drove as well from our hotel in Fountain Valley, drove out to the baseball game, which was, I don't know, it was 2 hours of driving through crazy LA traffic. I experienced some crazy traffic, some great traffic. I experienced all different kinds of roads. There was great freeways, there was rubbish freeways, there was good highway roads, bad roads, gravel roads, all kinds of things. And I think my experience in the Model 3 was pretty exhaustive. It wasn't like some crappy journalist where they take the car for a day and start harping on how they know everything about the car. I honestly think my experience of driving this car was pretty good. It wasn't perfect. It wasn't like owning the car for 6 months. It was pretty damn good. Here are the negatives though. Autopilot. Obviously, I didn't have full self-driving. I used full self-driving in a different Tesla Model 3 and in the Cybertruck, which blew my mind how damn good it was. But Autopilot comes standard. And Autopilot is good. It's good on freeways, but stop-start traffic on freeways, sometimes it slams the brakes on. I'm not talking about phantom braking here. I'm talking about when it's just driving itself in its freeway lane and it has to stop sometimes. It kind of panics a little bit and can stop a bit harder than it needs to, and I start to feel a bit nauseous. So that's the one downside. Sometimes I think, why are you braking so hard? I'd even say to the car, don't brake so hard. You don't need to. That's the one downside. But Autopilot was pretty good, and you can adjust the way it reacts to some degree. Pretty good for a free system, right?